Guys, it is almost time for UFC 321. Tom Aspinall, now the UFC Undisputed King, puts the title on the line against elusive striker Ciryl Gane in the main event. It's raw strength versus refined technique, and my friends at DraftKings are going to get you in on all the action. New customers turn $5 into $300 if your bet wins, paid instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use the code SONNEN, stay in on the action. Use your bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Love the thrill of live betting? Bet live on star player props and in-progress games right as they happen. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers, use my promo code SONNEN. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly if your bet wins. That's promo code SONNEN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Are we overestimating Tom Aspinall or are we underestimating Ciryl Gane? And by the way, you have to choose one. There's no room for a no neither. There's zero room for it. Are you guys reading the things being said about Tom? I used to be one of Tom's biggest advocates, and then Michael Bisping stepped in front of me. Michael Bisping became the biggest voice between Tom, but we kind of discovered him over here. We were telling people about this guy. This guy's on an undercard. We're telling people about him, and you better keep your eyes open. Francis Ngannou was in the weight class. Jon Jones was not yet in the weight class. Sergey Pavlich was making his run through the weight class. I mean, this was the time frame. Stipe Miocic is there. Daniel Cormier is in there. We're over here at Bad Guy Inc. telling you, hey, there's this guy out of England. Looks like this sweet, nice guy. His name's Tom Aspinall. Doing some undercard work. You better keep your eyes open. It was one of these things. So, I've got to tell you, though, are you seeing the things being said about Tom? My own partners at DraftKings have this all but a foregone conclusion. The way I hear the UFC speak, the way I hear the guys in the division speak, this is a foregone conclusion. I just read the most beautiful interview today by one of the most dynamic fighters I have ever had the privilege of calling a fight for. Michael Venom Page. Nobody fights like Michael Venom Page. Nobody. He has the most unique style. He said that about Tom. He said, as a matter of fact, to quote him, we have never seen somebody with this style at heavyweight. MVP is all style. He's Mr. Style. So his opinion matters. And he's passing this to Tom. Now, I got to tell you, when I look at Tom, I don't think style. There's ones and twos, and every now and then there's a kick getting thrown in there, and those ones and twos are coming, and it's a lot of man, and he is coming across that ring. When that referee says, are you ready to fight? And Tom says, yes, he means it. He does not waste any time. Those are all very nice compliments. What style? There's never been a knockout or even an attempt of a spinning elbow, a spinning roundhouse kick, running up the fence, jumping off. I mean, these are things that you just don't see. The things that Tom does from an athletic standpoint, would you use the word style? Now, the reason I'm saying that is, are we overestimating Tom? Because there is so much on Tom. We're putting so much pressure on him. He is the undisputed champion of the world who didn't fight for the undisputed championship, right? Like, I mean, there's just an interesting thing. And we've had people in this spot. Ronda Rousey found herself in this spot. Jose all have found themselves in this spot and did great with it. It wasn't too much pressure. They could deal with it. Tom's now got a very challenging opponent in front of him. And not just a top two. I believe Ciryl Gane to be the biggest challenge that Tom has faced. But if he's not, Sergey Pavlich was like that. Sergey Pavlich versus Ciryl is kind of a fascinating match, and you decide who's better. But it's a matchup issue in addition to a success issue. Tom has not been locked in there with guys who are in the 5-round club. Tom has not been locked in there with guys who've had belts as recently as Surreal. So I think we can just agree on paper, but also in functionality, it's the hardest matchup that Tom has, but that's not just what he's dealing with. He then is dealing with talking heads like me that come in and create an extra layer of pressure, of you got to be kidding me, I'm dealing with that too, which is quite simply, Tom's not only got to handle Surreal, he's got to handle Surreal in like or better fashion than Jon Jones handled Surreal. If Surreal comes out of this match with the world championship, Surreal does not become the greatest heavyweight phenomenon out there. Jon Jones does. The biggest winner of this fight, there is a potential that it is Jon Jones. It's just the pressure of having this common opponent. Now, I share with you, like, Jon didn't have to fight Surreal, but officially that stat exists. Surreal, whatever happened that night from a competitive standpoint, but stayed in the locker room. So Surreal Gane, the fighter, the champion, the kickboxer, the #1 contender, did not ever get into the ring that night. But either way, right, that's all part of the game. If you can make a guy wilt in the back so you don't have to do it in the cage, this is fair play. Anderson Silva did that to plenty of men. Mike Tyson did that to plenty of men. That's part of the game. But either way, Tom is very much up against that. And if you were to just go look at the numbers, I have people tell me, oh, they all favor Tom. Well, no, not all of them. Tom's not as young as some of you think he is, just for example. I don't know Surreal's age off the top of my head, but he's around 32. Tom is 32. Tom's bigger. He's going to get in that ring anywhere from 260 to 262. I asked him that question, what will you weigh on fight day? Anywhere from 260 to 262. Surreal's going to get in that cage just south of 250. But that's pretty close. Tom is a very tall guy. Surreal's within an inch of him. I'm just saying, like, when you start looking at the numbers now, those do all favor Tom. Even if they all do favor Tom, but let's keep going. Let's keep looking at the numbers. Who's had more fights? Who's had more experience? Who's had more rounds? Who's had more main events? Who's had more title fights? And those are numbers that do favor Surreal. So what do we do with that? Is that actually an advantage that you've been in there? Like, you don't get better in this sport by doing it. It's the one sport in the world that I've ever seen where you don't get better by doing it. At the same time, you can't get better if you don't do it. It's a real cart horse situation. But it is a question of how would Tom hold up in a 4th round. Sure it is. Not because he's not a tough guy. The Mike Tyson adage, I cannot tell you how true it is, and I don't have to go back any further than Saturday, where RDR came out, brought a storm, absolutely dominated the 1st round, but did not get his opponent out of there. He was fried. Joe Rogan gives me credit for coining this phrase, because I used it on Joe, but I stole it from Mike Tyson, which is, if you look for a knockout, you will not win a decision. If you look for a finish and you don't get it, you are not going to win should it go to the cards. And Tom looks for a finish every time. Good news for Tom, he finds a finish every time. You got to go back to Tom's amateur career to find a time that he went all 3 rounds. But I assume if it was an amateur fight, that was 3 3-minute rounds. I couldn't confirm that, and I tried to. If I'm right, and that's what we do here in the States, then he's never been 15 minutes. So when I'm asking the question of how would he do 20 minutes, it's not a conditioning issue. It's a way that you fight issue. It's not a toughness issue. If you're 262 pounds, it's different to move around and to have that energy. Surreal is a fantastic stand-up fighter, and he can take punches. He took Francis's punches. and he delivered them right back. He stayed in the pocket at times. I don't know that I have a huge confidence that Tom is going to knock out Surreal. I know a lot of people do. I don't know that I have a huge confidence, but there are other people like me that see that as a matchup issue and say, well, Tom's just going to go out wrestling. And therein lies my question, though. Are you overestimating Tom? Where are you getting this information? With what data or piece of history are you coming to the table and arguing that Tom can just go out and out wrestle Surreal? And if you can't knock him out, just go out wrestle. Where are you gathering that? So we're for sure doing one. We're for sure either overestimating Tom or we're underestimating Surreal. And there is nothing more difficult when you're in a cage fight and you start breathing hard than finding yourself in a situation that is more difficult than everybody around you thought it was going to be, than everybody around you told you it was going to be. It is problematic to find yourself in a fourth round when everybody around you told you you're going to get him out of here in the first. So we have to choose. There's no middle ground. We're either overestimating Tom, who, by the way, might get him out of there in the first, but acting like Tom is going to come out, he's roll him, he's going to put him on his finger, he's going to spin him around like a ball, like this make-believe Superman figure. Or are we forgetting that Surreal is a legitimate number one contender, a former interim champion, and fought for not one but two undisputed titles? We're overestimating Tom or we're underestimating Surreal, and I'm just asking you, which category do you fall into?